Hi, my name is Philip Caporuso, Caporusso. I live in Leilani Estates on Kotwokai Street, approximately 2 miles as the EO flies from the plant. I guess I'll just start with what happened to me that night. On the night of the storm, as the wind started to ramp up, I did hear a concussion type of sound. Off into the distance, I just thought it was a downed tree. But shortly thereafter, I started hearing the roar of what most people describe as the jet engine effect. I've heard that roar before, so I suspected that was geothermal. And it got incredibly loud. All my windows were closed, I was in the house, but at that moment of doubt where I was wondering if that roar was actually geothermal or were the winds just ramping up to such a degree that they were coming thunderous down on us. So I did stick my head out my door. I immediately was met with one breath. I got instant congestion in my lungs. I got a stinging that started turning into a burning in my eyes. So I immediately went inside the house. As I said, my windows are all closed, but I do have some vents that are screen only. So what I started to do was to I busted out some trash bags and tape, and I was covering those up. So I went because the wind was funneling through them quite well. I regret not flushing my eyes immediately, but I thought that was more important. And as I was doing that, I realized that that's what the government told people in New York to do if there was a terrorist attack that released either biological or chemical weapons. So I did feel like I was under attack at that point. The winds were really ramping up. Trees were already coming down left and right near my property. So I thought escaping wasn't a good option. It's kind of like pick your poison. And I decided to stay. I finally did flush my eyes with some drinking water I had. Actually, numerous times through the evening, it didn't really seem to help all that much. At any rate, so I did stay at home and got through the night. My lungs felt, especially the upper respiratory, like I said, it was like a congestion, a tightness. Oh, and when I did get that first initial inhalation, I did taste, I can only describe it best as maybe a metallic type of taste in my mouth. I didn't smell it either, but anyway, we'll fast forward to the next morning. Surprisingly, I didn't wake up very early. It was the other weird thing when I think back about it, like once I did shut my eyes, the next time I opened them it was already almost 9 o'clock in the morning, which is unusual for me. At any rate, morning came, and it was time for me to bust out my chainsaw and cut my way out of my driveway and go out to the road and clear trees and stuff. But only after about 5 to 10 minutes of working, I was forced to stop. I was exhausted. I either had to sit down or kneel down, and I was gasping for air. I had to gasp for air. I know I'm not as young as I used to be, but I know my capabilities. I'm no stranger to hard physical labor, and I never experienced the inability to breathe like I did at that time, and continuously through the day. Matter of fact, I was upset that once I did get on my driveway and I was continuing to want to help and clear the roads in my neighborhood, I was pretty much unable to. I did do some work, but I wasn't my physical normal self. Anyway, for the next 3 days, I was still, needed to be that lumberjack to clear and stuff, and that lasted for all 3 days. At times I felt hypoxic. I didn't feel like my lungs were able to absorb, assimilate, and supply my body with the oxygen that I needed. Hence the gasping for air that I experienced. And the burning in my eyes kind of mellowed out to a mild sting, and my eyes never felt, it took 2 weeks for my eyes to recover. They always felt like they were dried out. Like, I don't know, it felt like they weren't producing tears. The congestion in my upper respiratory stayed there. I still have some lingering effects. Today is, what, September 2nd? And I still feel, and I'm trying to contain it here, I need to constantly clear my throat. I feel like I constantly need to swallow. When I take a deep breath, I feel like a almost like a tightness, something grabbing me right here. So I'm still not quite over it yet. I'm definitely better than I was initially, but 3.5 weeks later, I'm still affected. I'm not the type that's going to complain and carry on unless I really feel like something did happen to me. Oh, I know it did. And also, I feel like too, when I made contact with the Department of Health and other state agencies, they all acted like they worked for Geothermal. They put me off. They gave me excuses. The one lady at the Department of Health on Oahu told me, well, if I didn't smell it, if it didn't cause if it didn't cause my sinuses to be affected by it, then it wasn't hydrogen sulfide. But I wonder too, I know there's other deadly gases. There's the pentane gases that are, I think, lighter and can travel further. I think that they should also, instead of only chasing the hydrogen sulfide, they need to look into these other gases that were released that evening as well. So basically, I do feel like the state agencies that are out there to protect us need to stop covering the agenda of the state and really do their jobs and offer some health, do some testing, do some chest x-rays, do some lung testing to see what kind of damage was done, if there's any lingering, lasting damage. And I guess unless I go into a lot of other things, I think that would be it for now.
Okay, thank you.